For the past several weeks, the Dodgers have withstood a bunch of backlash surrounding their decision on who to host for LGBTQ Pride Night. We've seen this for years in the Major League Baseball. Like since early 2000s, they started doing Pride Nights. The only team that is yet to officially do Pride Night is the Texas Rangers. And as of right now, they have no plans on changing that. But virtually every other team in Major League Baseball does it in some way, shape, or form. There was a little bit of a difference with the Dodgers this year because they decided to invite a group of degenerate trans drag queens who are openly an anti-Christian hate group. They mock Christianity, they mock people's faith, and that was a step too far. There was so much backlash for this announcement that the Dodgers actually disinvited them until the woke mob started freaking out, albeit with very few people actually saying we need these people here. The Dodgers reinvited the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and decided to honor them with some sort of community award. Since that point in time, fans have been furious. Even other players on the Dodgers organization across Major League Baseball have spoken out about it. Well, they still honored them a few nights ago, but they tried to hide it. We all saw this video that got out there. It was supposed to be a big thing during the game. There's supposed to be a big honor, a big award ceremony. Instead, they did it an hour before first pitch in front of this incredible crowd.
The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence for their outstanding service to the LGBTQ plus community. Result of Sister Unity and Sister Familia.
And look at the crowd. Like, there's probably 100 people there.
Yeah.
Like maybe about 100 people there. Now, the Dodgers still did it, right? But they completely changed their plans because they knew probably how bad that would be. And even when you looked at the stadium, you have reports like this. Dodgers lost tens of thousands in revenue and embarrassed themselves to appease the far left. Now, obviously, you're going to have some, especially in Southern California, Beardo probably knows this. People aren't exactly on time when they get to the ball game. You know, sometimes it fills up slowly. But even when you have, this is Dodgers Giants, all right? This is something that sells out. That is always going to be a massive game. And there was several thousand completely empty seats there. Now, obviously, a lot of people didn't come for the opening Pride shit. Nobody gave a fuck about that. But even throughout the rest of the game, you could see that there was an impact. That I think the Dodgers' decision to host these freaks and be so open about it, I think it really turned a lot of people off. And you saw big Christian groups protesting outside, you know, thousands gathering outside Dodger Stadium to kind of counter protest to what these people are doing. John, I know you guys covered this over on Black and White Sports. What's your take?
Yeah, the excuse is that, oh, LA traffic is bad and all this other stuff. I've been to many Astros games, and Houston is the fourth largest city in the United States. I go to games, and guess what? When it comes to the second inning, the stadium is way beyond half full. So they had like 25,000 in the second inning, and the excuse is, oh, it's LA traffic. I'm not buying that, man.
Dodger Stadium, it's just in a shit location. It's like in the middle of this. It's in the middle of this buttfuck hill. There's one way in, one way out. The parking lot is a complete disaster. Like, if you aren't an hour early to the game, like to get in line just to get into the parking lot, you're gonna wind up being late because it takes fucking forever just climbing up this hill, inching up this hill to the point where there's like, you know, scalpers just walking down the street like, oh, do you want a Dodgers hat? Here's free Dodgers or Dodgers tickets for sale. Here's Dodgers shirts. Like, they can literally just walk in between these cars and sell people merchandise through their window because it's that bad at Dodger Stadium. But still, no excuse. I mean, Dodger fans have known this. I mean, if you're going to a Dodgers game, you're most likely a Dodgers fan, and you're okay with potentially maybe losing your life after the game because you might get, you know, mugged and beat up after. But
yeah, I will say this also. Based on that video of them honoring the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, it was a whole 2 minutes, an hour before the game. I believe it was clear that the Dodgers truly did not want to honor this group after they disinvited them. They made that pretty clear by pushing it an hour before the game when nobody's going to be there. And as soon as it was over, all right, get out of here, never to be heard from again. the Dodgers will not mention that group again. They're hoping that this whole thing blows away. I'm going to be very curious to see what's going to happen on Christian night next month that they're having.
Yeah, for the Clayton Kershaw family night. That's going to be great. It's going to be interesting to see the turnout for that. But your Beardo is right in terms of Dodger Stadium, how annoying it is. I'll just say this about California fans in general. They're fucking lazy as shit. They just don't show up for shit. Like, I don't care if it's a fucking Lakers game, a Padres game, a Dodgers game. There's something about Southern California sports fans that are just the laziest fucking piece of shit in the world. It's just across the board. They typically just don't show up until a couple innings in. But even with that being said, when we look at this, it's not usually this empty. It's not usually this empty in the second inning, right? You're always going to see people strolling in. Again, watch any like televised Lakers game, and you see it kind of similar shit. But there's no excuse for this type of matchup. Maybe if the Dodgers were really shit this year, and maybe if the Mariners were in town, you could see something like this. This is Dodgers Giants. These are massive games. These are consistent 52,000 stadium sellouts.
They lead the league in attendance.
They do. Stadium's massive. And for there to be that many empty seats, clearly it did have an impact. And I think a lot of people decided to stay home, whether they're season ticket holders or whatever, that just decided, no, fuck this. I'm not going to this game. But
where is Dodger Stadium
themselves? And the woke Major League Baseball, they have done this. And I think Major League Baseball is catching it hard right now because they're the only league right now that has an active full season going where they're doing all this honoring shit during Pride Month. So now all the ire from stuff like Budweiser, from stuff like Target, all of that's being turned squarely on Major League Baseball for all of this stuff. And they have done it to themselves.